Good morning, folks. Welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. I'm doing a gift request from none other than Carolina's Beauty, aka Phyllis. Shout out to you, Phyllis. Thank you for this, my dear. Diamond Rio's song, One More Day. I don't know it. I didn't know much of Diamond Rio's music back. I wasn't in the country growing up. I only got into country about 10 years ago or so. And so I have a lot of catching up to do, and I'm catching up, 3 or 4 songs at a time on the channel, because that's about how many I do each day. Sometimes only one, other times 5 or 6, but depending on requests and whatnot. But One More Day. Let's see this song, Phyllis. I'm really curious, based on that song title, why you requested this. All right, here we go. Piano always tells some story in the beginning.
Last night I had a crazy dream. Wish was granted just for me. It could be for anything.
Nice setup.
I didn't ask for money or a mansion in Malibu. I simply wished for one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you.
Yeah.
One more day.
That's brutal. Who's this person to him?
First thing I do is pray for time to crawl. I'd unplug the telephone, keep the TV off. I'd hold you every second, say a million I love yous. That's what I do with one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do.
Yep, prolong it.
Leave me wishing still for one more day with you.
You can't be prepared for that,
One
man.
more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day. Wishing still one more day. Leave me wishing still one more day with you. One more day, one more day.
Yeah, you see a title like that and you're like, one more day what? If I could live one more day, I could tell you all the things I'm thinking. But it just brings in so many questions. We're all philosophers. Believe it or not, we're all philosophers, because philosophy is it's just about thought, thinking, thought experiments and such. And this one was every bit of that. If I had one more day, okay. And is set in the context of a dream. He was granted a wish. So if I had one more day, and we do this all the time. If you could fly, where would you go? Or if you were invisible, what would you do? Well, these are just fun things. But I mean, trained philosophers are people who just love carrying those thoughts out to the nth degree, can dissect it. And this was going down that path. Like, I'd ask for one more day with you. But then again, it would just make me wishing for another day with you. And it's like, yeah, exactly. Now you're a philosopher. You're like, okay, it might just be prolonging the torment. And I don't think anybody who was granted one more day would turn it down. But, I mean, imagine, too, in this regard, that somebody's passed, but somehow, by some supernatural, otherworldly process, you were able to spend one more day with that person. Would you want to do it? And it's like that question, like, if you could know the day you were going to die, would you want to know? And I wouldn't. Or it's the thing, like, if you could know the gender of your baby, before it's born, do you want to know? Not everybody wants to know. Other people are yes. Some people think they don't. Then it gets closer and you're like, oh, yes, we want to know what color to paint the room and what gifts people to get us, whatever. But you try to play out. I call it decision analysis. It's actually what I do with my executive coaching and my life coaching line of work, where you just play out the known possibilities. What could happen if you do this. These are the likely outcomes or possible outcomes of that. So you look at the variables and then you wound up doing actuarial work where you just play the risks. You say, okay, what is the best result for the least risk? And you make your choice. And in this case, what would happen emotionally if you got to spend that day with this person? And he's like, first off, I need to allow time to cry. Fair enough. Then I'd turn off the TV, I'd unplug my phone. You can tell this was written a while ago, unplug my phone, as opposed to turn off my phone. These little snippets give you insight into the time in which things are written and recorded and such. But, of course, I mean, would you want an additional day? And it's tough because you just know at the end of that day, you might be destroyed more than you were in the first place, because there's really no preparation for death, for someone else's death who you love. You just deal with it. As long as you keep breathing, there's a chance for you each day that it'll get a little bit better to where it always leaves a hole in your heart, but you're not destroyed. So, Phyllis, this is a beautiful song. The harmonies were beautiful. There was even a little mandolin. I mean, this was well produced in here. There was a lot more going on in it audibly than you might pick up on if you're just, driving down the road and listening to the song. But that's always the case, actually, when you have headphones on and dedicated time to parse a song. So I'm going to rate this. And the number that instantly popped into my head was a 9.0. I guess anytime I can bring philosophy into a discussion, because I was a philosophy major at Rutgers, one of my two majors, and I love it. I love extenuated thought. That's big part of the reason why I love doing the country music reactions, because the stories give me room to process. Wow, that songwriter really nailed that part of life, and I can get off and running. So there it is. Phyllis, Carolina's Beauty. Thank you, my dear. All right, guys. I'll see you on another video. Have a great day and keep rocking the country.